What is up, guys and horror fans? Welcome back to my channel. This is OCD Reviews. My name is André, and today I'm going to review the latest horror creature flick film, The Last Voyage of the Demeter. This movie is directed by André Øvredal. Hopefully I say his name right, I don't think so. And this movie stars Hawkins, Cunningham, David Dastmalchian, and Franciosi. Hopefully I said those names right as well. If I didn't, I apologize. The crew of the merchant ship Demeter set sail to London to deliver a cargo of 50 unmarked wooden crates. However, they soon discover they're not alone as Dracula's unholy presence turns the trip into a nightmarish fight for survival. Now, this is a movie that I was not expecting to be good, to be honest with you. I saw the trailers and I just thought this movie looks fine, and I heard this movie has been in development for a while, and this is actually taken from a chapter of Dracula's book. So, I went into this movie just not expecting it to be as great as I wanted it to be. I was just expecting this movie to at least be an enjoyable horror film. And I gotta say, I'm not gonna lie, this film does have some surprises that I was not expecting. I was expecting this movie to be a fun movie, but this movie is pretty sad for what it was. Like, it's pretty emotional, especially when it comes to the characters of the film. I thought the cast in this film was really good in the film. Hawkins does a great job as the main lead. Cunningham is definitely one of my favorite aspects of the film because he's definitely a character that has more sympathy in the film. You really feel bad for him for what happens because, of course, he brings his grandson on board, which, yeah, it has a lot of risk to his character, and I thought his character is really good in the film. Also, man, David Dastmalchian, this guy, man, he is big this year. He did movies like The Boogeyman, Oppenheimer, and now this movie. I want to see this guy in a main lead in the movie because I think he's that great of an actor. He is really good in this movie as one of those people that wants to get the job done. He's kind of a dick, and he just plays that role very, very well. Also, Franciosi from The Nightingale, hopefully I said her name right. She's also really good in this film. She's definitely one of the smart characters in the film. She knows Dracula's weaknesses and stuff, and I thought she does a really great job in the film. And I would say some of the horror elements in this film was not that bad. There are some really great filmed horror scenes that I think this film was directed pretty well, and there are some pretty interesting jump scares that are developed in this film. I would also say, like I said before at the start of this video, this movie surprisingly has some emotional material in the film, which I wasn't expecting. This movie really tries to be a really good horror film, with trying to get into the characters and trying to get into the emotional development, and that's really surprising for a horror film like this. And I think the emotional material and the characters were surprisingly really well done, and it made me root for the characters to survive the ship. I would say the cinematography, the look of this film looks pretty good, but I'll be honest with you. Would I remember this film? I'll be honest, not really. I feel like this is one of those simple, fine horror films that if you see it on Netflix and you watch it on a rainy day, it's an enjoyable watch for what it was, but it's not a movie that I would say, oh my god, this is the best movie of the year, or this is a movie that I'll absolutely remember in 2023. It's just a fine horror film. I would say one of my biggest issues with this film is that this film is way too long than it actually is. This movie is 2 hours long, and it should have been cut at least half an hour, because the second act of this film definitely slows the film down. And at times, this film gets a bit boring at parts. And I'll also say the Dracula creature itself, I just find him pretty generic. Like, I wish they could have characterized Dracula a bit more in this film. They treat him more as a monster in this film, just hurting people one by one. And that's not really what Dracula is. He has a human side as well, but obviously this is the monster version of Dracula, what he was. And I just find the Dracula creature pretty generic, especially the look of the Dracula creature. I know it's played by an actor, and he did a pretty good job with the makeup and stuff, and looking scary, but yeah, just the Dracula design itself just looks very, very generic. It looks like a typical creature flick monster that we've seen in a lot of horror films before. But overall, The Last Voyage of the Demeter is actually a fine movie for what it was. I think it had some pretty good scares. I think it had some good emotional material that I was really surprised at. I thought the cast was pretty good in the movie. And I would say the direction and cinematography, it looks really nice, but it's definitely a horror movie that I wouldn't remember this year, to be honest with you. The second act definitely slows the film down. It's pretty boring at parts, but, you know, it does have some entertainment value as well. So I am going to give The Last Voyage of the Demeter a B-. So guys, that is my review for The Last Voyage of the Demeter. Let me know what you think of this film in the comments below. Do you like the film, hate the film, or you thought it's okay? Just let me know in the comments below. Make sure you guys follow me on social media links down below. Keep contact with me. And make sure you guys subscribe to my channel for my latest movie reviews and other movie related content. Thank you guys so much for watching, and have a nice day.